Thank you for joining us today here at TK Conversations. I am TK, and today joining us we have special guest Roosevelt.
Thank you for having me back, TK. Let's get into this conversation again.
Okay, so this is our second episode, so I guess he's going to wind up being a regular. We'll see how many times we can get him on the show here. So, since this is our second episode, I do want to remind everyone of a couple of things. The intention behind TK Conversations is about having those uncomfortable conversations, talking about things that people may shy away from, talking about things that make you actually think. Overall, it's about just having the conversations and taking away key points and tools that will empower you to have conversations with other people, that will enable you to evolve and grow while being the best version of yourself. What you think? Any questions before we dive in or go any further?
No, I think that's a great way to put it. Sometime in life we got to have these challenging conversations because they help us to be able to move forward as a people and and as a human race. So let's get into it.
All right. With that being said, I have had several topics and questions thrown at me over the past few months. And one of the questions that came up was in the last session that I had with one of my amazing clients. And the question that was asked to me was, do you believe a person can do anything? Or I can say, do you believe a person can learn anything? Is how the question was brought up to me. Now, I will say, just being a life coach, when my client asked me that question, I automatically rephrased it back to them and asked them, do you think that someone can learn anything? And the reason I bounced that question back on that individual, because as a life coach, I'm not here to answer those questions. My goal is to get them to digging deep and really think about what that answer would be for them versus what I believe. So with that, that's the actual question of today. Do you believe a person can learn to do anything, and or do you believe a person can be anything? So with that being the question, I want to bounce that off of Roosevelt and tell me your thoughts or tell me what you think.
Initially, I'm thinking no. I think I'm going to stand on no. Because when you get deeper into certain professions, you have to guess there's the IQ level that's involved. So some people can, they might, I would guess they are not able to learn certain things. First thing come to mind is something as simple as a doctor, a surgeon, the things that they go through and their talent. I would think that some of that stuff have to go with a little bit more of a higher IQ level. That's just my opinion. And you say, can people do anything? I would say no, because if we get deeper into sports, some people are just freaks of nature, if I could put it that way, or their physical attributes are totally different than the rest of the world. So, than the rest of the world. That's why you have fans and you have athletes. So I'm guessing no, but let's open it up. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So when the question came up, and keeping that individual anonymous, I want to say they specifically said, they asked me, do I believe a person can learn to do anything? So if I think about that question, because I can see where it can take a turn and go in many different directions. But if I start with just the basic level of, do I believe a person can learn to do anything? My answer would be yes. And I'm saying yes to start with, keeping it as simple as I possibly can, and then I'll go a little deeper with it. But for example, let's say you said the surgeon. So if a person wanted to be, let's say, a brain surgeon, They go to school, they go to medical school, multiple years. As they're going through that process, they learn the information that they need from the books. Then they go through their labs and they work on cadavers. And this is something that they're doing every single day. So that means that they're being taught exactly how to do that. Would you agree with that?
That's true.
That's
Okay.
true. Okay. So let's say that we have another individual. They want to be a brain surgeon as well. They don't go to medical school. So now I'm going into the human mind, what our mind is capable of doing. If you take someone that is already a brain surgeon and you take an individual that he meets and he tells him, hey, I want to be a brain surgeon just like you. That brain surgeon could have that individual go into the hospital with him every single day, stand in that surgery room with him every single day, and show him how to cut open a brain.
Okay, I see where you're going. All right, so this individual, they didn't have to go through all the schooling. If they were just with the surgeon every day, could they learn how to do the job? Is that the direction you're going in?
Yes, I'm just throwing that out there, using that, going to the extreme with the brain surgeon.
Right.
But yes, because the thing is he able to learn it?
Okay, I kind of see where you're going. That makes sense. I'm going to say it's still going to be a big challenge because I feel like IQ level will have to be pretty high. But at the same time, I do understand where you're going with the whole thing of pretty much he's shadowing him every day. So he's able to see the things and go through the same steps that he's going through. So it's possible he can learn that position. So you got that one.
Okay. So I think about it in a sense of, as humans, we're taught every single thing that we know.
Very true.
So when I think about it from that aspect, if let's say someone that wants to be a lawyer or someone that just works at a call center, any type of profession you take on or any job that you do, you go into it and you're taught how to do it. So when you walk in the door, you may be a clean slate. You may have no idea how to perform that job, but repetition and consistency of doing it every single day teaches you exactly what you need to know in order to be able to do whatever that profession or that job is. So on a surface level, if that question was thrown back at me, can a person learn to do anything? I would say yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's why companies have training classes and things like that to teach you how to do the job. Sometimes some individuals don't even have the experience, but you can always be taught how to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to take this a step further because depending on the profession, and even when you said professional sports, some people get out there like LeBron James and he can do it. He can do it at 40 years old. And then you take someone else growing up and they're like, well, I really like LeBron James. I want to be a professional basketball player like LeBron James. We're going to go in that. I'm going to go in that step before I go to what I was originally going to go to. So with that, would you say that a person can also learn to play professional basketball and be like LeBron James?
Yeah, a little bit, but not all the way. One thing about it is that his stature is a big piece of the puzzle. When you're sitting here and you're trying to really put it together, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's 6'9", right around 240, somewhere around there. And move as smooth as he's able to move. You can't find too many people that are 6'9" and that big to move like that. So that's what makes him a freak of nature. So that's why I say with some things, with the whole physical part of it, sometimes you're just built for it.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you right, please correct me if I'm wrong. If you take a young boy that idolizes LeBron James and wants to be like him and play basketball, you're saying that he cannot be taught to
He could
play.
he could be taught how to play the game, yes.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, just to do the things that LeBron's able to do. So to clean up what I just said, I think I was a little bit off. He's 6'9", 250. So for him to be able to move that smooth and be able to shoot and drive to the hole and dunk the way he's able to dunk, some of that stuff just come with genetics. You know, you're just built to be able to do it. And most guys that's his size is not able to do it. That's what make him, one of the greatest ball players of all time.
Okay.
But yeah, if you say can someone learn how to shoot, 53% from the field, or someone who could learn how to shoot, layups or dunks or something like that, I would say yes, you can work on that to be able to do it. But to be some of these athletes, they stand apart for a reason.
Okay. I like how you said that they stand apart for some reason. So what would you say that reason be? Are you saying because another individual that's his weight, his height, cannot move the way that he moves?
Correct.
Okay. So why is that? Why would you say that is?
Because genetically he's built to be able to do that.
Okay. So this is the question that I'm going to throw at you then. Genetically, is he built to do that, or is this something that he has been doing for so many years that has basically trained his body and his mind that he is capable of doing exactly what it is that he's doing?
There's a lot of guys out there that work hard at that size of 6'9", 250. A lot of guys out there that size that untried it and can't really, and they're not as successful as he is with it. So I would not say that their work ethic was anywhere less than his. I know his is top of the line, but I wouldn't say theirs is that low, because they're trying to, get into the league, make it happen, be able to support their family. So they giving it all they got. So if they move a little bit slower, then they have to take a different position and be a center or be somewhere down low, where LeBron can play all 5 positions and play them all efficiently.
Okay. So I heard you say they may not be as successful. And the reason I'm pointing that out, because I hear what you're saying, and that makes sense. But then when you said they may not be as successful, then that goes back to me now thinking again, they are capable of doing it and can do it. Now, their stats and their numbers may not be exactly as LeBron James is.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I think this was a setup.
But not at all. But they are still capable of doing that. And the reason I'm wording it like that is because at some point, there's a lot of limiting beliefs there in an individual that can be 6'9", 250 and would like to be like him.
Yeah.
So there's something there mentally that automatically stops a person. And those are just our limiting beliefs of saying, no, we just cannot do that. But if we look at history and just go through time, we can see a lot of things that are said that cannot be done are being done.
I don't know, because even looking at football players, they're huge. They move differently. America's obese. There's a lot of fat guys out there, but a lot of them can't run as fast as some of those linemen, or some of them can't move as quick as some of those defensive linemen. Some of them move a lot more swift and smooth, like an Aaron Donald. Big dude, but move very nimble, very quick on his toes. It's just something about certain athletes. You be like, okay, that's the reason why you're able to do this job, because you actually stand out and you can actually do things that other people cannot do, So I think that's the reason why I stand on things like that. So I'm looking at it from a football standpoint. Basketball, I got where you're going. I still think not many people, if any, can do what LeBron has done at his size. But if we get into football, those guys are a freak of nature. Some of the way they're able to move and the things they're able to do.
Okay. So let's look at football. We're going to look at a couple of different things and then we're going to narrow it down. So let's take football. Football has a standard, and don't get me wrong, I don't know a whole lot about sports, so I'm going to try to phrase this as best I can. So football has a standard. There's a certain way you throw a football as a quarterback. There's a certain way you catch it. There's a certain way that you run with the ball, or so whatever the running back does. So with that standard over time, however long football has been going here in America, they've played it a certain way. And we're going to take the quarterback position. The quarterback has thrown that ball a certain way all this time since football has been existing. You take one individual, let's say Patrick Mahomes. He throws that ball the same way the ball has been thrown in American football history, but then he steps into the arena and he throws it a different way.
That's correct.
Okay, so playing football and playing baseball. Now, analytics and statistics will say you can only throw a ball this way to be successful in football.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes has shown that is completely incorrect.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's my way of saying you could be LeBron James, 6'9", 250, and he does what he does. Or I could be TK, 6'9", 250, and still do what LeBron James does. My numbers may not be the same, but that does not mean that I cannot do what it is that he does. Or take me as being Patrick Mahomes. Other individuals, and I say this, let me point this out. When Mahomes came into the league and started throwing the ball the way he was throwing it, he then revealed, yes, you can do what they have said you cannot done because it was never seen before. And then once he started doing it, you took other individuals that are in the NFL, other quarterbacks that started attempting it. And now when you look at college quarterbacks, they practice that and actually attempt that. So how do I want to figure out where we cut it off and say, no, that's not capable, or saying, yes, that is capable.
Yeah, I got where you're going. Yeah, because, Mahomes came into the league. He was more consistent with it because I know there's a couple quarterbacks that have thrown the ball sidearm. If I'm not mistaken, Stafford have been down that road before. But Mahomes just does it consistently at a higher rate and more successful. I get where I do understand exactly where you're going. So what you're really saying, because I tried to move the goalposts on you, that didn't work. So, so what you're saying is that it's got a lot to do with mindset. It's got a lot to do with what you believe. To actually, you can accomplish and do anything. Don't say you can't do it just because of the things that I was speaking of with stature, with physical attributes.
Okay. Thanks for trying to move the goalposts. I'm glad I caught it and was able to keep going. Okay, so now we're going to swing it back. So when I was in my session and that question was asked to me, I'm going to think of it from that standpoint now. If you're sitting talking to your loved one or your kids or a parent or someone or just a friend, it doesn't matter, and you're having this conversation and this individual wants to do something in life or wants to be something in life, but their perception of themselves, they immediately think, I'm not able to do that. So therefore now I cannot do that. So when thinking of it like that, whatever it may be, whatever that individual wanted to do you think, we're going to go back to that question, do you think that a person can learn to do anything and be successful at it?
I would say yes. I got where you're going, yes. But now I'm going to throw something back on you. So this surgeon, would you be comfortable walking into a doctor's office with no degrees on the wall, no studies, but he just tell you that, hey, I work right next to my father for the last 15, 20 years, and I know exactly how to cut you open and go in and take care of this procedure. Would you be comfortable letting him move forward?
So,
or would you say to yourself, from an IQ level, I don't know if this guy knows everything he needs to know?
I am going to say, and you are going to think that this is crazy. So I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to explain to everyone why I am saying this. So the TK conversation audience don't be like, has TK lost her mind? I am going to say yes. I am okay.
Not me. I need some degrees on the wall.
And let me tell you why. You take a guy that's been a surgeon for umpteen years, and his son has been on the side of him watching his dad, and his dad has been teaching him for 20 plus years how to do exactly what he has done, but he did not go to school for it. He has a lot of knowledge, and he would be able to perform that job. The reason that I say yes is because you can take an individual that can go to college, go to medical school. We know there's doctors out there that got D's. If you can go to college, you have to see what I'm saying. Yeah. If you can get enrolled,
C's out there.
Yes,
C's got degrees. I got where you're going.
Yes,
yeah.
If they can pass the courses, if they get help along the way, they push themselves all the way through college. Let me throw another caveat at you. Say there's a family full of doctors, and the rule in the family is that you automatically be a doctor. They're going to get into medical school. They're going to fly by the seat of their pants. They're going to come out, and they could come out and be in that surgery room to perform surgery and don't have a clue about what's going on.
Yeah.
But they went to school.
I might gotta see somebody's transcripts now. I gotta make sure they, my doctor did get C's just to get through. Shoot.
And that's the whole thing, because you can go to school, you could get the degree, you can work in your profession. You could have hands-on experience where it's taught to you one-on-one. Both of those individuals, one could be good, one could be bad. Both of them could be stellar at what they do. The whole thing is really, how are they applying themselves with what they are provided? And are they being consistent with what they are being given, with what they're working with, basically? Mm-hmm. So one, it's about a mindset. You take an individual, I can't afford to go to medical school. I have no way to go, so I'm just not going to go. But I'm going to go and work in a hospital and work my way up and eventually get to that point where I'm in the surgery room and I'm watching them do what they do. And just maybe the hospital will start paying for them to go to school, get the backing that they need, because the rule is you need a degree.
Correct.
To be a doctor. And let's be clear, that's here in America. You have other countries that do not require you going to medical school.
That's why I don't go out of state for nothing. Go out of the United States for anything.
But that's medical school.
Yeah.
Some countries say you don't have to go to medical school. You could go get a 4-year degree, and then we teach you what you need to know moving forward. Mm-hmm. But America, we know they're going to want a degree, because we have to, as Americans, you have to prove yourself to us in order for us to trust you. That's why you said I may have to start seeing some transcripts.
Yeah, because I'm C's. You can't be cutting me open with C's. You can't do that. Mm-mm.
So now think about this. If you can already doubt a person and say, I need to see some transcripts, think about that individual that wants to do that for a living and have placed all of this doubt into their mind. Mm-hmm. Of I'm not capable of doing that because I don't have the IQ, because I don't come from a family of doctors, because I maybe can't get into the right school. There's always so many things that tell us what we can't do. So take an individual that stands as tall as LeBron in his weight. He would tell himself, LeBron's a freak of nature. People can't do what he can do, so I'm not going to attempt to do that. So we rule ourselves out before we even get started.
Gotcha. I follow you. It makes sense.
Now, anyone that's joining us today can definitely feel free to chime in. You could leave some comments, and I'm open for discussion. We could continue the conversation and just continue to dig deeper into it. But I want to make sure everyone that's listening today to really be clear on you can be anything you want to be. You can learn anything that you want to learn. The only thing that will stand in your way is you with your limiting beliefs. That's the only thing that can stop you. Now, in reality, we know that there are individuals out there that are completely disabled and their mind just will not allow them to do that. So I'm not referring to those individuals, but all of us that wake up every single day in our right frame of mind, we make a conscious choice. Or we make an unconscious choice because sometimes we just go with the flow of things, but we're making a choice, whether we know we're doing it or not. And we're choosing to either be afraid and not attempt it, or we choose to attempt it. Now, keep in mind, if you choose to attempt it, you have to understand it's not going to be easy. With anything you do must come struggle, because that's the only way that you're going to grow and learn. But we are, every last one of us, capable of doing anything that we want to do. Let's think about it. AI is so fierce at this point. You could probably ask ChatGPT, how do I do brain surgery? And it'll probably give us a whole entire list of what to go do brain surgery.
And if somebody's doing that in the emergency room, yeah, it might be a problem, but okay.
But that is my thought. I wanted to just do this episode on that particular question. The next episode that comes up, I will throw some more topics out there. I just thought that one was very unique because in a coaching world, when we're dealing with our clients, when they ask us questions like that, as a coach, we automatically know they're struggling with something. It's something they want to do or something they have wanted to do over time that they just cannot do it. And it's not that they're not capable. They just need to shift their mindset, because that is what's stopping them. Because if you can think it and truly visualize it, you can always manifest it into a physical form. So if you get up every single day and say, I am going to be a doctor, you get the books from the library, you apply yourself, you do every possible thing that you can do. If you keep waking up every day doing that, you are going to be that. Now, whether you practice or not is a completely different story. But on the basis of can you do that? Yes, you can do that. And I would love to hear for someone to throw something out there that we can have a conversation about that can make me say, okay, maybe you can't do that. But I don't think there's anything in the world, from being a brain surgeon to being the president of the United States to being a lawyer, because we're taught it. When we first started this episode, we discussed you're taught everything that you know. So you're taught to be afraid. You're taught to be fearless. You're taught to do the things that you do, no matter what it is. So either side of the coin, you are taught it. So what we have to do is learn how to let me rephrase that. What we have to do is learn how to unteach ourselves and then reteach ourselves. So rewiring our brain so that we are able to do those things that we want to do. And we have to be comfortable with stepping out and just trying it.
I can see that. Good conversation.
All right. What other thoughts or feedback you have today?
No, it makes perfect sense. You know, that's why we teach our kids that the sky's the limit. They can be whatever they want to be. Go out there, run through a wall, and make it happen. It's got a lot to do with the preparation and what you put in it. You know, what you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. So I understand that 100%.
Okay. So I dare ask, We started with saying, do you believe you can learn to do anything? Has your answer changed, or would you still say your answer is still a no? And nothing's wrong with it.
I'm in the middle of the road. I'm riding the fence right now because, like I told you, certain athletes, I get it. Even when it come down to just say something as simple as it's not simple, it's a very hard job. Being a fireman, running into a burning building every day takes a little bit more than just, I guess what they taught you. You got to be built with that. You have to be built to be able to do something like that, to be able to run into a burning building, grab someone, and actually have that feeling of I'm going to save you no matter if I lose my life. I don't know. It's just I'm kind of riding the fence right now. I see where you're going,
and I like that you used a firefighter. Let's think about that. Are they just built with that, or is that something within them? And that's the part we're getting to, that mentality and something within them that says, I want to do that. So not the build of a physical frame, because you can go work out. I mean, you have actors and stuff and people that are very slender but extremely strong because of their workout regimen. So if that person mentally says, I want to be a firefighter, no matter what, that's where my heart is, that is my purpose, that is their mindset, and that's what they go after, they're going to do that. They're going to run into that burning building no matter what, because that is them.
Okay, you got me. All right, I'm on your side now. I do. I believe 100% that you can actually accomplish these things.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is challenge everyone listening, and I'm going to challenge Roosevelt as well. I want you guys to think about something that you have always wanted to do, or something that you're thinking about right now that you would really like to do, but you're truly stopping yourself from doing it. And what I mean by you're stopping yourself from doing it is that you are coming up with every single reason of why you can't do it. So I want you to turn the coin over and then say every reason that you can do it. Because if you can come up with every reason of why you can't, my question back to you is why not? So if you tell me because I don't have the money, my question still to you will be why not?
True.
Why don't you give it a try? Because maybe you don't have the money, but there's another way to go about it. We're just using that as an excuse. Or let's say that the person says, oh, no, I'm trying. I'm trying. We got to be careful, because using the word trying can also be the excuse that we're using. Mm-hmm. Because if you say that you're trying, that means, okay, I'm going to attempt this. But mentally, your mindset is that you already know that you're not going to make it anyway. So when you go in and try, you're really not giving it your all. You're just doing it for the sake of saying I tried.
Gotcha.
All right. Any last words that you have for us at all, Roosevelt?
No, none at all. Thank you for having me.
Perfect. Thank you again for joining us. And thank you to my audience and everyone that has tuned in today. I will be back soon with another special guest, or it may just be me solo. If anybody has anything that they would like for me to discuss on TK Conversations, please leave a comment. You're welcome to leave the comment. You can email me at info@tkstrickland.com. You can check out my website at tkstrickland.com, and you can check me out on social media. I am TK Strickland, which is on Instagram. I appreciate you guys being here with me today. Have a wonderful day and week.